I'm making a Minecraft Java Edition hacked client tier list. You can see all the clients we're ranking down here today, and I will link this specific tier list down in the description below so you can make it yourself as well. And if enough of you actually make one, then I'll review them in a video. Anyways, getting right on. Anyways, without further ado, let's get in. First off, we have, I think this is Aries client. Their logo is kind of obscure. As a thing, they're kind of obscure. I'm pretty sure they're big in 1.12. Overall, it's a pretty nice client, cool UI, and for that I am going to put it in B tier, but I feel like there is better stuff out there. Also, some of these clients here are paid, and yes, I am going to be taking that fact into account when ranking them. Now, continuing on, we have Aristoas. Aristoas is a great client. It always updates really fast. For the rest, I mean, it's kind of basic, but it works for literally almost every single Minecraft version that exists. So, great client. I'm going to put this in A tier. It's not the best out there, but it does its job. It works just fine, really. Then here we have Bleach Hack. Mainly well known for 1.16.5. The only reason it's well known is because 1.16.5 was like the most popular version ever when it was released. Well, 1.16, right? But also 1.16.5 mainly now. I'm not even sure what I'm saying. Bleach Hack, I mean, it's... Well, this sums it up.
I mean, it's alright. Like, overrated as fuck, in my opinion. I mean, and you know what, though? That's typically how the bullshit goes. You feel me?
And directly, same thing for Cookie Client. I feel like they're similar to Bleach Hack, but for 1.12.2. Cookie Client is a good client, but they don't really have anything special to offer. I'm just going to put that in C tier together with Bleach Hack. Also, feels worth mentioning, all of these clients mentioned in this video are going to be linked down in the description if you want to check them out. Then we have Breeze Client. Now, Breeze Client is very popular. They're very good as well, but they are paid, which, I mean, takes it down. They have the exact same price as Vape, which in my opinion is overpriced, but I'm going to be putting them in A tier because it is a really good client. You can count on them pretty well. Up next, we have Doomsday Client. Doomsday Client is great. They're still in development, but if they keep it up, I honestly think they should be in S tier. I don't really think they deserve it just yet, and for that reason, I'm going to be putting them in A tier. If they continue developing it well, then they're going to be right up there in S tier. Continuing with Entropy. This client it's okay. I think it's more expensive than Vape as well as Breeze then, which really it should not be. I mean, it's so right, as I've said about clients before, and for that I'm going to be putting this in C tier. It's an alright client, but honestly, it should not be that expensive. To be fair, most things are overpriced, but oh well. Future Client is a little bit less expensive, I believe, off the top of my head. Maybe they raised their prices yesterday. And in my opinion, Future Client is great. They work great for 1.8.9, 1.12.2, as well as actually 1.20. I think they're going to be updating to 1.21 soon as well. And for that reason, I am going to be putting them in S tier. Let me know what you think of that decision. Either way, I think they're a great client. Work for old versions, newer versions. Very, very good. And I think I might actually have another S tier right off the bat here. This is Impact Client. It's well known for including baritone as well as it just being a great 1.12.2 client. Probably one of the best dedicated 1.12.2 clients out there. Impact, that is also free, by the way, which is why this is going to go straight into S tier. Very, very nice. Then we have Inertia. Inertia is a little bit similar to Impact. It's also free. It works for 1.12.2, and it's an alright client. They have some customizability options as well, and I'm just gonna be putting them right there. In B tier, a solid spot for a pretty solid client. Then we have Liquid Bounce. Now, recently, I think Liquid Bounce has been getting some Bitcoin miner accusations and the works, mainly due to the fact of them upping the monetization on their website when you download it, which honestly, I kind of understand on their part. Liquid Bounce is definitely not bad. They update slower compared to other clients that also intend to always work on the latest version, and for that reason, I'm going to be putting them in C tier. The client's fine, there's just better out there. Then we have Meteor Client, probably the best free client out there. The only thing that sucks about this client is that they take always a week or two to update to newer versions, and it's kind of hard to access older versions of their clients since you need to build them themselves, and people get confused. For the rest, Meteor is probably the best up-to-date client out there. As I said, it's free, straight into S tier, personal favorite of mine and of many other people, I believe. I think they also support baritone built into their client, which is really nice, of course, as well. Then we have Prestige. Prestige is a pretty new client. They market themselves as really high quality. They are paid. I think they're around the same price as Future. They work for 1.20 to 1.20.4 and then later versions of 1.19, I believe, which is alright. I'm going to be putting them in B tier. I just don't have enough experience with them to be able to put them right in S tier. In A tier, I mean. I don't really think they deserve that, but oh well. Up next, we have Raven B+, which I know some people don't really care about and other people are a great fan of. I think Raven B+ is a pretty good client, but they don't really have that much to offer. They're also pretty obscure, as in I think they no longer have a website. You can download it from their GitHub page, but for the rest, there's not really an active community around them. For that reason, I'm going to be putting them in B tier for now. Then we have Rise. Rise client it's a ghost client for earlier versions of Minecraft, and it's actually quite a lot cheaper than both Vape as well as Breeze client. I think it's around $20 cheaper, which, I mean, the fact that it can even be that much cheaper and still cost something is a crime in and of itself. But in my opinion, it's a really, really good client. I think I'm going to be putting this in S tier. I think it does deserve to be there. Next up, we have Sigma 5.0. Another client similar to Liquid Bounce with minor accusations. Not as in the one Drake experienced, but along with the mining, they have actually been completely discontinued. For a long time, there wasn't even a way to download it. I know it is a really loved client, but for the sake of this video, I have no idea if there is any safe downloads of it. If there is, please let me know. For right now, I'm just going to be putting this in virus. You know, I'm pretty sure they mine crypto, or at least they have in the past. Moving on, before all you guys murder me in the comments, Thunderhack. Now, I have decided to add Thunderhack as well as Thunderhack Recode, as they're kind of two different clients. Thunderhack in and of itself, I think, mainly works for 1.12.2, maybe 1.14 as well. It's not that great of a client. I mean, the UI is pretty trash. They have two options for it. It's all really obscure compared to the other clients. Just don't use Thunderhack, like use something else. In terms of Thunderhack Recode, I'm not going to put it in the same tier as Thunderhack. They work for different versions, by the way. Thunderhack Recode, I think, is 1.20.4 and a few versions around that too. It's definitely better than Thunderhack Plus, but let's be real. Now, Vape V4 and Vape Lite. Vape is probably one of the most well-known clients out there. It is paid, which automatically I feel like brings it down just that little bit for me. Vape, the difference between Vape Lite and Vape 4, I think Vape 4 works for 1.7.10, 1.8.9, and 1.12.2. And 1.16.5, Vape Lite works for the same version, it's just not 1.16.5. Vape 4 has a legit mod menu, whilst Vape Lite I think is screen share proof, and there's a few more differences as well. Vape Lite is, I think, $15 more expensive than Vape. I mean, they're already ridiculously overpriced, like you shouldn't be paying that for a Minecraft client, but oh well. I prefer Vape 4 to Vape Lite, so I'm going to be putting Vape V4 in A tier, and I think I'm going to be putting Vape Lite in B tier. Wolfram client, mainly well known for 1.12.2 functionality. I think it is either based on worst, or it's a worst client fork, or it is something like that. Either way, these two for the 1.12.2 versions are very, very similar. To be fair, Wolfram client is pretty solid at what it does. I'm trying to decide between A or B. I'm probably going to be putting it in B tier. Anyways, now worst, which we already discussed, is kind of like Wolfram, except for the fact that it actually updates really fast. It works for basically literally every single Minecraft version that exists. I think it starts at something like 1.7 and it works all the way up to now 1.21. It was literally the first client to update to 1.21, I believe less than an hour after the actual update came out. In my opinion, I think worst client is fine. I know there's a lot of hate against it. I'm definitely not putting it in S tier. Don't worry, I am going to be putting it up in A tier because, to be honest, it's a solid client. The UI is great. In my opinion, it works pretty fine. And I mean, roast me in the comments, guys, let's be honest. Maybe this wasn't the best decision. Moving on to Drip Client, definitely the most expensive client out there. It costs $200 if you want it lifetime, or you can just pay a measly $20 per month. Which, of course, is absolutely insane. Guys, please don't do either of those. Honestly, I'm going to be putting this in D tier. You should never strive to buy or own Drip Client. I mean, it is updated to 1.21. It's a pretty solid client. Just don't spend that much money on it, please. Like, you're not actually dumb, I hope. If it was free, it'll literally be like an S tier. If it was maybe the same price as Vape or something like Future, it would definitely rank so much higher, but I really just can't, guys. Like, there's a reason I haven't made a video on this yet. It's because they haven't given it to me for free, and I don't want to pay for it. I hope you guys can understand that. Anyways, for right now, basically, that was that. This is my tier list. You can go over here. I will link this down in the description, and you can make your own one of these tier lists. As I said, if enough of you make it, then I will actually make a video reviewing all of your tier lists. Now, I made this same video, but for Bedrock Edition. If you want to check that out, that's going to be linked down in the description too. And for right now, thank you ever so much for watching, and I do hope to see you again in the next one. Bye-bye.